Hey guys, I'm so glad you are back. But if you are a newbie, I'm going to ask you, subscribe and become a part of the Get Your Life Back tribe with Cheryl, me, and hit the bell so you get those notifications. Share this out with your tribe, with your community, with your friends, whoever you want to share this with, because I need more people to get these messages that I try to put out weekly or bi-weekly as well. But I'm back on my regimen and I'm trying to give you some stuff Tuesdays and Thursdays because there's a lot of people that need help to overcome barriers so that you and they can propel into their purpose, living life on purpose, living in your purpose and living in your passion, operating in your passion. And so that's what I do as a life purpose coach, certified mental health professional, certified pastoral counselor, and a whole lot of other things. And if you want to know more about all of the services that I provide, go to CherylYHoward.com or go to Get Your Life Back Academy. And you'll see my master classes, my courses, my coaching, products, books, all kinds of things I use to help people overcome, see who they are inside, overcome some things. Okay, so I don't want to ramble on too long because I am ready to get into this topic today, which is finding your purpose, right? And that's what I'm about. But a lot of times finding your purpose can seem difficult or hard. And I actually had a conversation today, and I hear this so often. Cheryl, I don't know what my purpose is, or I forgot what my purpose is. I never knew I didn't even think like that. My God. And so today I ran my developing confidence workshop with some wonderful women who've been through a lot of different things in life, like a lot of us go through. And so now they're in the season of the reset, getting their life back on track. And so I am so glad that I get to be a part of their journey of recovering and healing, and launching out into the deep and seeing their true value and who they are inside, what they was really called to be. And I'm so glad that God has given them an opportunity to do all the things that he called them to do, to receive, first of all, to embrace. But I want to help you as well. So for those of you who can relate to this, please stay and watch the whole video and do share this with some other people because I know you know someone who needs to hear this, somebody who needs encouragement, uplifting, somebody who needs to hear a word that speaks life into whatever that thing that's lying dormant within inside of them. They need to hear this. So we're going to talk about why finding your purpose seems to be so difficult. Finding your purpose can be challenging, but it is a personal journey. And so I don't want you to get stuck into thinking that you are only here to serve one purpose, number one, because we serve many purposes. And a lot of times, first of all, let me back up. I don't want you to believe that once you serve your purpose or there's only one purpose, there's not other things for you to do. There's a lot for you to do. Understand that you can have a seasonal purpose. You can serve doing a certain thing, fulfilling a certain call or an assignment for a season. And then sometimes you experience a shift or something else will open up like, okay, now it's time to transition into something else. A lot of us do it all the time. After a while, we can feel when this season is over for this. And that was time for me to shift. And a lot of us, when we stay in tune, we can feel it in our gut, in your spirit. How many of you can experience that or you have experienced that? When you can feel like something is stirring up, something is changing. God is getting ready to do something. That's what a lot of us feel. We can feel it. It's on the inside of our gut and our spirit. And so let's get into this whole finding your purpose. And I'm glad to be helping you on this journey. And, because I said, again, going back to we have multi-purpose, we are multifaceted creatures. And many of us have multiple skills and talent and abilities and ambitions and visions and dreams. What I want you to do is give yourself grace. And don't get caught up in what other people are doing because that can get you off track. I want you to see yourself. Point number one that I want to make. Scientifically, you can receive confirmation within your inner self, your internal signals that we ignore. Remember I said we ignore sometimes because we don't sit still. We're not taking out that quiet time. This is why I always talk about becoming more introspective, becoming more self-aware of our passions and our purpose, hearing what others see in us. and that common theme that follow us throughout our lives that other people recognize, but not necessarily us. And I mentioned giving yourself grace because you may discover your purpose via various, going through different trials and tribulations, basically, because we learn things, we learn lessons. The Bible talks about through every trial, we should learn something. So when we also learn to create moments of less stimuli in our lives, because when a whole lot of stuff is going on, it's hard for us to hear all that outer noise and that inner noise too, things inside yourself, maybe things you're telling yourself, maybe those narratives you or somebody else told you that spoke negatively into your life. All of those are distractions, other people's purposes that they ascribe to you that is not necessarily aligned with your natural or spiritual purpose or God's purpose for your life, for that matter. You are an individual, unique. So when you learn to do this, take this whole quiet time, right? It will allow you to get in touch with your feelings and your thoughts, your imagination again. Wake up your imagination, those things that have been lying dormant inside of you. And as well as being able to hear from God, God's directives, God's instruction and orchestrating your life, ordering your steps. Quiet time. Tell your neighbor, quiet time. Point number 2 is seeking the guidance of a life coach, a counselor, a therapist, a mentor. And a mentor does not have to be somebody you know personally, but it can be from somebody you glean from. Maybe you have an idea what your purpose is, and this particular individual is doing it well. You can learn from there. You can take some notes. Get yourself a journal, by the way. Get yourself a journal, some kind of book to write the lessons that you learn in life. Write it down. And also be ready, because as you take this journey, you're going to be getting some revelations and discovering some things you need to write down so you won't forget, so you can go back to it. Let it be your life reference book, your purpose reference book, something. So now we're going to look at certain factors that make it difficult and hard for us to discover our purpose. The world expectation, our society expectation of things, societal norms and external influences and validation. Let's talk about it all, because society, culture, and family and peer pressure can shape the way we think about things, can shape our beliefs and expectations. And this makes it so difficult to separate our authentic self and desires from the external influences. External pressures of society often places so much pressure on us to try to figure out our own purpose before even our brains develop. And a lot of you know that our brains are not fully developed until we in our early 20s. And if you have experienced some kind of trauma, the frontal lobe part of your brain sometimes can develop slowly. There can be a delay because of some kind of arrested development, something that was missing because life was disrupted somewhere in your life and you wasn't able to develop healthily. Something happened. That's why some of us are lacking some things like coping skills or learning how to reason and be rational, learning how to become emotional regulated, because there was something that hindered us from developing healthy, making it difficult again to process information, cognitive distortions that we can develop. Our cognitive reasoning is dysfunctional. And so sometimes we are relearning all of these things. Those are cognitive setbacks, but there is help for you. And we're talking about all of these things because this is about transformation, repositioning, repurposing, growing and learning and healing. This can bring forth healing too. If you hear what I'm saying, you process it and follow through. So I'm giving you some stuff that's going to help you change your life. Get back to the brain. And so when we have that kind of arrested development somewhere, it can block us, right? And so it's unrealistic. It's an unrealistic expectation from society, having these pressures of society for people to just know, at a young age what their purpose. Some people do. Some people know. And then remember, your purpose can change. So we're not focused on one thing in life, because there are a lot of things that we can do and we can achieve in life, things that we can operate in. Many of us have many passions and desires and many dreams and goals. But a lot of times, again, when we feel stuck in this cognitive place, or the pressures we get from our outside noises in society, it can cause depression and add more stress because we're still trying to figure out who we are, what are we supposed to be doing. And we're going to talk about ways to shift from that, where that no longer is a barrier for you in your life. And so unexpected shifts, redefinition, and even changes in values and perspective, right? This can also make it difficult for us to find out what our purpose is. Because as we grow and experience life, your values and your priorities do shift. They can shift, they can change. What you found purpose in at one season of your life can change over time. Some of us, I don't know if some of you may have heard of this word. It was new for me. I learned about it, I think, 2022. I learned about this word, achievomophobia. Achievomophobia, which is also the fear of success, because it brings a new level of accountability. We are doing things that we haven't done before because of fear, right? A lot of people are scared to step out into a new level of doing something or taking on a new opportunity because it's going to bring a new level of responsibility, accountability. It's going to pull you out of your comfort zone. Maybe you have a fear of expectations, what's expected of you now, and the potential for failure. But people learn from that. Again, if you change and have an alternate thought, that you perceive things different, instead of perceiving a failure as, this is it, I'm going to give up. You look at it as, you know what, I can learn from this. I'm going to embrace this moment because something inside of me is calling me and I got to do this thing. And so I'm going to position myself and put things in place so I can have a support system. That's a whole nother strategy I didn't even mention on here, but developing, forming a support system of individuals, of people, like say you're working on a particular project or you're working towards that dream. Get the people or glean from the people who are doing what you're trying to do, who have did it successfully. Pull on them. And like I said before, God will put people in your life when you step out on faith and do these things, so you can operate in your passion and your purpose. The people will come and you can get help. Open up yourself. We don't know everything, and it's okay. But a trauma response would be like, no, this is not, I don't want to be responsible for all that. You end up being retarded. And let me break that down. You retard yourself. You repel. You stop growing. You stay in a dysfunctional state because you allow fear to cripple you. Achievomophobia, fear of success. But you can have the opposite. The fear of failing or making the wrong choice can paralyze your decision making. Yes, when it comes to finding your purpose, it is often easy to stick to what's familiar. How many of us stick to what's familiar? Even if it's unfulfilling, because you're familiar with it. You're comfortable with it. That's dysfunctional, though, by the way. Number 4, cognitive distortions. I talked about it. Now, we all have cognitive distortions sometimes because of different things sometimes that we go through. We misperceive something. We hear something wrong, and this is why, again, developing your way of thinking, those processes, those cognitive processes, those cognitive reasoning. If we are not functional in that, and we don't have a healthy thought life, a healthy mindset, then we can have excessive cognitive distortions. And this is when it becomes unhealthy. One of them I talked about, the all or nothing thinking, or black and white thinking, they call it. If it don't go this way, then just forget about it. Or if this one thing don't work, or something gets difficult, forget about it, pack it up, jump ship, I'm done. Stay stagnant. Over-analyzing. You're thinking a little too much about something. You're over-analyzing things. And then that can cause a level of fear in you. And then you just stop. It can cause a level of anxiety. And then you just stop. And even overgeneralizing. That's believing because you feel that one thing, nothing else is going to work out. Oh, this ain't go well. Forget it. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. So you use words like never and always and everybody. How many of you do that? This happened to it. Really? This happened to everybody? Now, you know you're going to pull out that rational emotive behavioral therapy coach in me that's going to tell you, let's test that thought and belief that you have about this situation. Everybody, now you need to put it on trial and let's get some facts. So everybody who messes up never makes it, never comes out of a situation, never overcomes. Everybody, you just overgeneralize, and this is it. You just gave up. You just summarize it, and you can't move no further. When we overthink things, we become double-minded. Double-minded person and all becomes unstable in all of their ways. They become indecisive, insecure, unsure, doubtful, confused. And I'm talking about excessively, because we all experience these type of moments. And then when we are caught up in all of this, then we lack the clarity of our visions, our dreams, our goals, our purpose. It is a trauma response. It is a trauma response, my people. Like the lack of patience and persistence. Again, discovering our purpose takes time. Unless you receive some special revelation at a young age, and God does that. He will. I've experienced some stuff. I did. Again, it's not always about one purpose, but it may give you enough to put you on a path to continue to discover and reposition yourself so you can operate fully in it. And even if he does give you a revelation when you're young, if you God give you something drops in your spirit and you just have a know about it, a knowledge about these things, your purpose, know that sometimes or many times or most of the times we receive it in part, in portions. As a matter of fact, sometimes if God showed you the whole picture, something that he wants you to do in life or what your whole purpose is, some of us will not be able to handle it anyway. Again, we'll have this trauma response, right? Because of fear, and we're back up out of it. God, I can't. Instead of allowing him to develop you. He's developing you. Every level you will learn, you will grow. You'll be able to handle yourself on the next part of your path. But if you stop, you won't get there. You won't even know what it's going to look like or feel like, which means you close yourself off to blessings. You block your own growth and blessings. And so he gives us parts, right? Part of the foundation of our purpose, but not the whole picture yet, or what the whole journey is going to look like as we get closer to our purpose. I love the scripture in the Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 9. The Bible talks about, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. And that thing which is perfect or complete, the fullness of it, it'll come to pass. And that portion, the part of the vision, that'll be done away with because now we got the full picture. But it's a journey. Competition and comparison, this also makes it difficult for us to really discover and understand what our purpose is, because we're looking at everybody else, constantly comparing ourselves to other people who seem to have it all together or seem to find their purpose. But it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and hinder you from your own growth, your own discovery process. So unless you're looking at other people to learn from them, to glean from them, right? That can be healthy. But if you get so fixated on how they're doing and what they're doing, again, you don't allow yourself a chance to find out your own purpose, getting clarity, knowing your own identity. You have ascribed somebody else's identity. There's a lot of people out here trying to be like other people. You're still not walking in your authenticity. So you are an imposter at that point because you're not embracing who you are and you're not operating in your purpose so you can make the impact you were called to make. And the last one, number 7, familial and cultural differences, influence, and beliefs. What is considered purposeful can vary in different cultures, in your family, multi-generational. And this further causes some kind of internal confusion and distraction within ourselves, because you can learn from things and take pieces and then you eat the meat and spit out the bones. But what is your purpose? Because a lot of times, again, we will ascribe other people's purpose as our own. And so you don't fully grow into who you were called to be or what your purpose is. So those are some things. Yes, there are many more things. And if you know specifically what's a barrier for you and what's causing you to feel like you're not fully operating in your purpose and your passion, tell me in the comments. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'll do a whole nother video to discuss these things. Please. And please share this with some, again, I know you know somebody who needs to recognize. Sometimes once we get a revelation about something, it's like, oh my God, now I know what it is. Now I got to break this thing. Some of you are called to be curse breakers. This is your season to break these negative patterns, mistakes that have hindered you from moving forward. I hope I helped somebody today. I hope it opened up your ear. I hope some revelation came to you as I was bringing out these points and talking about all of these 7 things that get in the way from us knowing what our purpose is, why it seems so hard and difficult to recognize what it is. We talked about a lot of things, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual barriers. But I'm saying because of this, because you heard this particular video, you're free from that. I need you to embrace it though. You are free from it. Break it. You are a curse breaker. But you're breaking these patterns and you're setting a new course for the next generation, maybe your children and then your children's children, as the Bible describes it. God is always about generational blessings. So we can break these generational mistakes and habits and mindsets, and because we learn from the people we're around. But sometimes we are misinformed or uninformed. So now we got to get reinformed. And so I hope I just reinformed somebody. Okay. But I'm done. Okay. Again, please share your comments and your responses to this video. I like to talk about these things some more. Maybe I can bring you on the podcast so we can have a dialogue about it. Maybe you can share your personal story that'll help somebody else. And that could be your purpose. I'm talking to somebody. Yes, I am. Your purpose is to tell your story and help other people heal and grow. And you're sitting down on it because of fear. Get up now, unfold those hands and get busy operating your passion and in your purpose. Okay. All right. So please, if you have not subscribed, I need you to do so, because what happens, YouTube, when they see people's interests, it tells the algorithm, people are interested in this content. Somebody's being helped. Let's show it to more people. So it's because of your likes and your comments and your super chats. You supporting this channel. It helps the channel to grow. And then I'm exposed to more people so I can help more people. That is my purpose, to serve. And for those of you who've sent super chats and everything else, it supports this channel financially so I can grow, maybe like getting equipment, having people come on the show, for experts, or just everyday people who just sharing their experiences, but they have some wisdom that they can share with my audience, my tribe, Cheryl's Get Your Life Back tribe. I welcome it all. I am so thankful and so grateful. I get pleasure out of doing this. It feeds me. As I pour out, I'm being fed as well. And it also reinforces these things because I'm also taking note, reinforcing the things I've learned. Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we forget and we got to go back. Like that I mentioned earlier, go back to that life reference book. Because sometimes we need to be reminded. Sometimes we need to be reminded of what our purpose is because we got lost. Our vision got blurry in a hurry. Okay, there's something else I did want to say before I go. I can't remember, but I'm also on Instagram. Let me tell you, you can find me on Instagram, Cheryl.GetYourLifeBack, Facebook, Cheryl Get Your Life Back Coaching, or Cheryl Y. Howard. I'm on Twitter, Get Your Life Back. I'm on Pinterest. Oh, Holly, I got to get back on Pinterest, y'all. Oh my goodness. I haven't been on there in a minute. I think that's everything. TikTok. I'm on there. I try to post something on there at least once or twice a week. It's growing as well. So find me on all these different social media. I'm trying to spread some wisdom, some love, some information, some life strategies and tools to help people break through barriers and propel into their purpose. That's what I do. See you guys later. All right. Bye-bye.
Get your life back. Get your life back.